Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror film reviews, ratings, rankings, and rumors. Now for your hosts, Danny, Joel, and Katrina.
All right. This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I'm here with Crocodile Katrina.
Chomp.
And we've got Joel the Jackal.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm a jackal today.
Yeah, watch out for Joel.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, so Joel is a jackal because we are going to be talking about a brand new film, the Omen prequel called The First Omen.
The first.
Yes.
Not the second,
So Joel,
but the first.
can you tell us who is a part of it?
So this one stars Nell Tiger Free. There's her name. She was in 40 episodes of Servants, that M. Night show that was on Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a weird show.
I wanted to
but
watch it,
I
but I
want to
never
finish it.
Yeah, I don't have Apple, so I wasn't able to watch it. 6 episodes of Too Old to Die Young, which is a
All right.
interesting title. And 6 episodes of Game of Thrones. There's actually another actor, I'm not mentioning him in this, but he was in several episodes of Game of Thrones as well.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of people come from that show. And we got Nicole Soros. She is Carlita.
Okay.
And she was in one thing called Summer Limited Edition.
Okay.
And then we've got Maria Caballero. She's Luz, the roommate.
Okay.
She was in The Girl in the Mirror, 9 episodes. 6 episodes of The Longest Night, and a movie called Sometime Later.
All
and
right.
then we got 4 writers. So.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
We got Tim
It's a collaborative
Smith.
process.
Yeah. Tim Smith did the screenplay, and he's done nothing else besides this.
Okay.
All right.
Arkasha Stevenson, who is also a director, did the screenplay, and she wrote 1 episode of Pineapple, a short called
Pineapple.
Daisy and D, and a short called Vessels.
Okay.
We got Keith Thomas, who also did the screenplay, and he wrote The Vigil, Arcane, which was a short, and A Place to Bury Strangers, I Disappear When You're Near, which was a music video.
All right.
Okay.
He's one of each, I guess. And then we got Ben Jacoby. He did the story. The story was by him. And he did Bleed and Borderland from 2017.
All right.
There's been a Borderland movie already.
Yeah.
I think it's something else, though. I don't think it's
not
the video game.
Not the
Borderlands.
video game.
No, yeah. This was something. That's why I put 2017. I didn't want to be confused with what's coming out. We got Arkasha Stevenson, who directed this, and she directed 6 episodes of Channel Zero, 1 episode of Brand New Cherry Flavor, which is a Netflix show.
Okay.
It's a horror anthology show, and 1 episode of Legion. So that's
All right. Cool. Okay, so for the synopsis, a young American woman is sent to Rome to begin a life of service to the church, but encounters a darkness that causes her to question her faith and uncovers a terrifying conspiracy that hopes to bring about the birth of evil incarnate.
Oh, man.
All right. So, Katrina.
Yeah.
Can you tell us so far the scores from the critics and the audience?
Oh, I can. Rotten Tomatoes so far gives this a 78%
All right.
on the tomato meter.
Okay.
So that's one of the best scores that we've seen for a horror movie, especially when it first comes out.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The audience score is 68%.
Okay.
So still not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And IMDb sticks with more like that audience score at a 6.9.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty good ratings over here.
Yeah.
This one has received, at least from what I've seen online with different reviews and stuff, people are hyping this up. People are excited about it. People really liked it. Some people, I think, are a little overly excited about it.
Okay.
I thought it was good, but I think people are getting a little crazy about how good they think it is.
I have a theory about that, though.
All
I-
right. Well, we'll get into
Well,
that. We'll get into it. But before we get into the theory, Joel's theory, let's hear what you guys thought. So, let's talk about what we thought going in, because we did a trailer reaction. We've talked about this movie in our anticipated list. But what did we think going in? Katrina, what did you think?
Well, I didn't have much to think. I thought the trailer looked very boring. The first trailers we were seeing in the theater. Then when we saw like a longer trailer, I was like, okay, I can get down with this. But I have never seen an Omen movie, so I didn't really know. I know Joel had talked about like some of the references in the trailer, and so that made me a little interested. I do kind of wish that I had seen the other movies before going, but didn't, and that is just fine. I was still able to like completely appreciate the story without seeing the other movies. So if you haven't seen it, you can still go see it. You don't need those other stories to understand what's going on, but you'll get some of the different things that happen. You'll appreciate it more, or you'll like understand it a little more if you've seen it. It seemed like,
or you'll find
from your
inconsistencies,
or you could find inconsistencies.
Which is what I determined.
Yeah, but going into it, I was just like, okay, whatever, I'll go see it.
Yeah.
I wasn't like excited and thrilled for it, but I enjoyed it. So like, I was happy with what I got.
All
right, Joel, what did you think going in?
I feel the same way. To be fair, it's been like 2 years since I saw The Omen, so there were references in this movie to The Omen, but I don't like remember The Omen a whole lot. I probably should have revisited that before watching this one, but I still really enjoyed it. I thought there were some cheap jump scares in this movie, but there were some that were actually really good too, that I liked. The acting was really good, and I did thoroughly enjoy this one. This is probably so far. I know I gave Immaculate like a 90 when we did that one, so maybe I need to retroactively put that one back a little bit. I can't give 90 movies or 90 scores to movies, ratings to movies that like came out in the beginning of the year. That's just, that kind of
screws it up for you.
Yeah, it does, because like if a movie is better than that, then I have to give it like a 95, and that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, getting a little crazy over here.
Yeah.
So you liked it more than Immaculate?
I did a little bit more. They're very similar, but also like very different at the same time. Like the idea itself is, like Immaculate was about, bringing in the savior of the world, and this one's about bringing in the Antichrist. So it's very different.
Well, kind of opposite.
yeah. But still kind of played similarly. So it's weird that we got them like back to back too.
Yeah.
But so I did enjoy this one, I think, slightly more. I think Sydney Sweeney gave a better performance in Immaculate. but still, like overall, I think it's a slightly better movie than Immaculate. And yeah.
Okay. So for me going in, I had only seen The Omen one time, and that's when we reviewed it a couple years ago. And I thought it was okay. I thought it was kind of overrated. I think the story is pretty good, but I didn't think the movie itself was very scary, like it has a reputation of being. Um, so I thought it was fine. And so going into this one, I was like, it's a prequel, which already is hard to make good. Prequels
Yeah.
are usually
Yeah.
like okay to not very good.
I
So
feel like I love prequels.
yeah,
Well, you know what's going
you're
to happen though.
limited.
That's
You're
the
yeah,
you're
you're limited with what you can do with a prequel. So
Yeah.
I do
Mhm.
feel like they did a good job with keeping it fresh as a prequel. So
Mhm.
they didn't stick with just what you kind of figured was going to happen in an Omen prequel.
Yeah.
There was a
Yeah.
little bit of twists and turns to it, so I appreciated
Mhm.
that. But going into it, I didn't really have many expectations until I started seeing some people really saying how crazy it was and how like it almost got an NC-17
Mhm.
rating, and just some of those early reactions got me more curious about it. So
Mhm.
Yeah. And we'll have to talk about that because I don't know about that.
you don't know
Oh,
about
what?
what?
It being that crazy.
Yeah. So there's one scene in
Well, do we
particular.
want to talk about it now?
No, no,
Okay.
we
So
won't talk about
let's
that.
calm it down.
Yeah, it's just that's I think what they're referring to.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
talk about
Yeah,
it
talk about it in the
with
spoilers.
our
Yeah.
yes, with our Patreon viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear what this scene is, then sign up for Patreon, and you get all the spoilers and extra episodes
Mhm.
every month. So,
Bam.
anyways, um, I thought it was good.
Hmm.
Um, like I said, it has some twists and turns, which I appreciated. It made me uncomfortable a few times,
Okay.
a little disturbed. There's a scene toward the end that I thought the Nell something Tiger.
Marguerite, I think is her name in the
Okay.
movie.
Yeah,
Our main character.
yeah. She has to do some physical acting, which kind of freaked me out a little bit. I thought she did a really good job with that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Hmm.
That part kind of scared me, and just the idea of it is creepy
Hmm.
and disturbing, which is the idea of the Omen in general. So it's not like
Yeah.
a shocking thing
Hmm.
if you've
Mhm.
seen the Omen. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it was a well done movie.
Hmm.
The acting was great. The you know atmosphere. I did feel like it did look like it could take place in the 70s, or it
Yeah,
could
they
have
did a
even been
pretty good
shot
job.
in the
Mhm.
70s. Even the like way it looked,
Yeah,
was
Yeah.
pretty
I was
classic looking.
really paying attention to the cars.
Yeah,
I thought they did a really good job at making sure the cars
yeah,
were all older
yeah,
70s style cars. Also the dress
yeah.
when they went out um, in public outside of the nunnery. Um, there were a few times that I was like, I wonder if this would be 70s attire.
Hmm.
But for the most part, I think that they did a good job at really sticking to the time period.
I had
Yeah.
questions about the whole scene actually. It's
Okay.
I
Okay.
Well.
just I feel like well, it's not a spoiler or anything. We've
Oh,
already
okay.
like started talking about this scene, but I just feel like I don't know. I don't know much about like nuns in the nunnery, but I feel like going out to a bar is kind of
Yeah.
like a no in the,
Yeah.
especially in the 70s. Like, was that something that's like, did they get the
Well, it
okay to
was
go out,
before
or
taking the
did they
vows.
sneak? Oh yeah, I
Yeah, it
know, but
was
you're
before
still
they
in
took
the
the vows, but it
you're
was
still
definitely
there
not
though.
something that they were supposed to be doing.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It was definitely something that she was sneaking out to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Marguerite was so uncomfortable with it.
Yeah.
Because she was very much like, I need to follow the rules. I know where my mind can go if I get off track.
Yeah.
Her backstory was pretty good.
Yeah.
It was mysterious and, kind of made you wonder, like, okay, what's her backstory? Like, how is that going to connect to the rest of the movie? So,
yeah,
that was pretty good. They added in some like of the 70s culture or like time period and what was happening with different war protests or church protests or things like that, which was cool. It really hammered home what the church was doing
and helped with the timeline, really keeping it with the time period, because he talked about that a number of times of how things are changing. Because there was a huge change in the 70s.
Right.
The radicals were changing things. So
yeah. So what did you, without spoiling it, what did you guys think of how it ended? Joel, start with you.
Oh, me?
You're on, Joel.
So there were a couple of scenes here and there that I was kind of dozing off towards the end of the movie. I did get the I know, I'm trying to think here because it was from what I can remember, it did end kind of crazily.
When we're talking about the ending,
the very end.
So that's after it's been a while.
Yeah.
Past what happens.
It's kind of like a jump in time.
Do we want to? Okay, so
don't talk about what it is, but what
no,
did you
no.
think?
But I'm saying, like, I don't know. Okay. I mean, because I haven't seen the other one, and so I don't know how it, is gonna be. It was hard for me to kind of gather. I remember talking to you about like how long past the events before had it been, because the ages of some of the characters was like, okay, like the age differences were interesting.
So because I only watched it that one time also when we reviewed it, or I might have seen it like years ago. But from what I can remember from the first Omen movie was Damien's like 6 or so in that movie. And so the timeline, I'm not sure, because they're still in Rome at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
And the Omen doesn't.
Well, we don't really know where they are. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, they could be in a different place. We don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't say where they are.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of seemed different.
Yeah, I don't know what they were. I don't know what the landscape
I've never been to Rome,
is over there.
This isn't Rome. What are you?
I know, but it definitely wasn't like
it wasn't at the church.
The church.
Yeah,
wasn't in no downtown area or anything. But okay, the reason why I ask is, and you haven't seen
some direction
it.
Here.
Sorry, you haven't seen the Omen, but I did talk to you about it.
Yeah.
This is the issue I have with the movie. There's a couple of inconsistencies with it, and because of things that happen in the Omen, some of it just doesn't add up. And we can talk about that in the spoilers, exactly what it is. But it's really important stuff. And I feel like they kind of just said, we'll kind of push that to the side because we potentially want to make a sequel to this. And so we're going to kind of pretend like, it doesn't match, but whatever. We're trying to continue the story. So we have to make some changes. And I don't like that. That's probably my biggest negative to this.
What they could do if this makes enough money is they could just take this this team and just remake the Omen.
Yeah.
That's
the
what I was
story go forward that way. Make a whole series of Omen movies or whatever. There's like 4 or 5 of them. So I mean,
they very well could do that. I would think that would be the best route to go, rather than try and squeeze in prequels to the original after this one. Because, and what's weird is I've seen other reviews and people have caught on to the inconsistency, but have kind of just said like that they don't care. And I feel like maybe people are just really excited because a good movie came out.
So that's where my theory comes in. Because if this movie came out in like October, November, I don't think people would be saying what they're saying right now. Yeah. It's because we haven't gotten a good, well, Immaculate was good, but besides that, not really. And Last Night with the Devil, but a lot of people haven't seen that because it was a limited release. But so from, wide release movies, we haven't seen a good movie yet. Mm-hmm. So if they hadn't seen Immaculate, or if they hadn't, they didn't like it, and this is their first time watching an actual good movie of the year, then people will forgive, like, stuff like that. But if this came out like months, like in the future, like October, when we've had a bunch of horror movies come out that hopefully are good, I don't think they would find it as as easy to forgive.
Yeah, I think you're right. I was thinking that way too. Because usually with prequels, people are pretty harsh if the story doesn't exactly line up. Mm-hmm. And I think for certain movies, like slashers or something, I can forgive it for slashers because the storyline of slashers is not as important as a movie like this. The story, especially the central characters, their story, it has to add up. And this has some issues in that department. I don't know how they can fix it without going in a just completely different direction.
Mm-hmm. Which they could.
Yeah. Which I hope they do. Because I would see another one of these, and I would hope that that's what they do.
Because I haven't seen the remake of The Omen, but I heard that it's like practically scene for scene, shot for shot, like the original. So if we're gonna do another remake, let's get more original with with the idea and take it a different way, possibly. Yeah. So
okay. Do you guys have any other negatives?
I mean, I think the only, I guess, negative would be, and it's not really even necessarily a negative, it's more just the style of movie that it is some of the story was just a little too much for me. It was like, I don't know, it got a little too, too intricate, I guess. And I was getting snoozy. And so there were parts that I was starting to fall asleep. I did feel like the like creature that they added into it, I felt like it was a little unnecessary. I feel like you could have had the story without having this like extra like creature aspect. That was weird to me.
It's part of the inconsistencies that I'm talking about.
Okay. And so that just like, I don't know, it was a little weird. Yeah, I think it could have been more effective without that.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I don't say this very often because I like long movies, but this could have been slightly shorter. This movie could have been, because it was 2 hours long. Like that's fairly long for a horror movie.
yeah.
So like I think they could have taken off about 10 minutes of the movie, make it less than 2 hours long, and would have been able to still get the point across from what they're trying to make.
Yeah.
And just kind of like cut out the fat in the
Yeah.
movie. There wasn't a whole lot of it, I don't think, because like a lot of it was needed. Like you need those slow moments to build the tension between scenes. But I still think there could have been something they could have cut out of the movie. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, and I actually liked how um intricate and no wait, that's not the word I'm looking for. Intricate. Wow. The story was because I am, because the Omen's not really that complicated of a story.
Yeah.
So I wasn't expecting a whole lot from the movie. So the fact that they added in like this whole like subplot to the movie, I thought was actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, so I like the subplot. I guess it's just more the whole how like the whole idea of how they're birthing these. I mean, that's not too much of a spoiler, is it? Like,
well, they're trying to birth the Antichrist.
Okay.
Which is the point of the Omen.
Yeah. The whole like
the whole process that they
that church was process going through, of like,
which I think is completely unnecessary too. That's another negative, which I'll have which I didn't think of for the Omen, the original. That it's a negative for that movie too.
Yeah, it's like I feel like they made it overly complicated. They overcomplicated it. And I feel like they overcomplicated it in order to add extra story. But then that, I don't know, kind of took away from and part of that is that creature and everything. Like I feel like it's a little much. Like you're trying to get like too over the top or like creepy or scary, or it's like the whole idea of it is already scary and creepy, and you don't have to add like extra to it to make it. I don't know. It was just a little much to me. I liked the background story. Like I liked the subplots and stuff within the story. I like that stuff. It was just that whole. Yeah, and maybe it was just hard for me to follow, and partly because I was falling asleep. So I guess that.
Yeah, I would say to both of you, I didn't have an issue with any of that stuff. I thought that made the movie scarier and made the church even more like sinister and added to the creep factor. I just don't think if you're actually trying to do this that all of that is necessary.
No. So this is the thing. I'm not saying not to do it like that. I get it's the whole how they are going about it that is confusing.
I didn't find it to be confusing.
Huh. I don't know. Maybe he just explained it in a very confusing, boring way that I was falling asleep.
I really liked the priest, like I guess the good priest.
The one who was there for her when she was young?
No.
Okay.
No.
The one
he was scary.
Yeah.
But the good one, the one that's like kind of explaining to her what's happening.
Yeah.
I
like him because I like his voice. He has a really cool voice.
I didn't like his voice.
Oh, no?
No.
Oh, I thought he was
the
really
pitch
cool.
in his voice bugged me.
Oh, wow. I thought it was really good.
Yeah. I mean, that's just him, so I can't judge that. You know? I mean, unless he was trying to do something different with his voice, but I think it was just his voice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, should we rate it?
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay. Joel.
So I really did enjoy this movie, and I definitely will watch it again. And like I was saying with Immaculate, I kind of wish I could retroactively rate that lower, but I can't. So with this, I'm going to go with an 87.
Okay.
I don't like this one more than Immaculate, but
so then if you're listening and you saw Immaculate, Joel is now putting Immaculate at 86.
80. What?
86? Because you said 87 for this, right?
Yeah, I was going to say 85.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He wants to give some room for an 86.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. There you go. So,
right.
Immaculate is 85.
85.
And
87.
First Omen is 87.
Yes.
I'll go 83.
Okay. I don't know what I rate any movies, so I'm going to go 80.
Okay. 80.
Bam.
Okay, cool.
I don't compare my movies to each other. And if my list ends up being different than my ratings, then if you guys listen to me that closely, then I value you and you can call me out.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
Oh, well, I'm just, when you're talking about we don't compare movies, those two are very similar.
Very similar.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. So that needs to be compared.
I wasn't on Immaculate, so
no.
I don't have to worry about that.
No.
True.
I have no worries in my life.
You will watch it though one day, and you'll have to give your rating.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. This has been scary, man.
If you want to listen to us over on our Patreon, wow, I almost forgot the word there. for some more of this movie, come on and join us. And
All right. So yeah, we're going to talk spoilers and specifics, and we'll talk about the issues with this one.
Yeah.
And we'll kind of hash it out. So,
and before we go to that, I wondered if anyone, if you guys are going to be going out doing anything, if anyone's been sick or if anyone has had hangovers or anything, check out this liquid IV that we've got. We have a code for you if you need. Oh, I showed the back of it here. This is the liquid IV that we've got. It's a powder that you're going to put in your water. It gives you the electrolytes you need for if you're trying to get more hydrated. If you're feeling sick, it can really help with helping you get more energized. If you've got a hangover, I've heard that it helps well with that. So check it out. If you would like a discount, then you can use our code.
Yep, which is Scare Talk code at liquidiv.com. When you order there, you get 30% off your order.
30%.
Yeah. Wow. So go over to liquidiv.com and use Scare Talk code at checkout.
Check it out. All right.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Unless you're a Patreon, stick around and we will continue.